Michael, we're talking about fasting. You've written a book about fasting, which is called Fasting, Rediscovering the Ancient Pathways. And you're very passionate about the subject. I want to take the other side of it. I want to be a little bit antagonistic because I think this is a subject, and I think you'd agree, that people are divided over. When you bring up fasting, there is a lot of different responses. Sometimes they're not all positive, maybe because people feel convicted or maybe because they just have a bad taste in their mouth from some sort of an abuse, because it has been abused by some, I think, in certain circles. So, let me give you some objections here, and let me see how you respond to that. Maybe I have fasted before, and I came out of it, and I just didn't really feel like it did anything for me. I didn't feel like I got anything out of it that was very special. It was a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifice, and the return on that was not very good. What would you say to that person?
To the one who says fasting is hard work, I would say amen. Fasting is incredibly hard work. Though fasting is works, it's not only works. We know that faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
So fasting being an expression of our faith, finding Jesus in the place of fasting, I would first have to ask the question, what were we fasting for? Because I feel like we set ourselves up for a lot of letdown if we don't posture ourselves correctly going into a fast. I've encountered many, and even in my own life, I'll speak from a personal perspective. There are many seasons that I've gotten into fasting in the past where I've wanted specific things, where there were prayers I wanted God to answer, where there were things where I wanted Him to give me. And what I found is that God will use whatever means necessary to get me into a fast. Because what He really wants is me. What He really wants is my attention. What He really wants is experience with me. And I've found that it's not even necessarily as much what I wanted, because I've been through many fasts where God didn't give me the things that I wanted, where He didn't meet me in the way I wanted Him to meet me. It's almost like those that come to Jesus in the gospel, and they're pouring out their heart, and they have all of these questions that they want to ask. And He doesn't even give attention to their question. They're asking Him these deep, revelatory questions that are significant for them. And He says, once there was a man. And He almost like turns His entire attention aside, because there are other things that He wants to talk about in the moment. What I find is that we walk with Him and He doesn't walk with us. And that in that, we must allow Him to lead. Our walk with Christ is not one that we can control. We can't leverage our faithfulness or our spirituality against Him to get the things that we want. Fasting is not like the crying toddler in the corner where we're all of a sudden going to demand that God do a certain thing because we're behaving a certain way. And I find that we set ourselves up for letdown if we feel like fasting is a means by which we can make God be something He already is not. And this is what most people want. They want God to be something to them that they are not having the experience of. And so they feel like if I fast, then He has to give me what I want. If I fast, then He has to be this way to me. If I fast, then He has to give me this or give me breakthrough here or answer me in this area. That's not what fasting is for. Fasting is not the way we twist the arm of the Lord to get the things that we've always wanted. Fasting is one of the ways, like Smith Wigglesworth said, there are 1,000 places in my heart that need softening 1,000 times a day. Fasting is not so that Jesus can give more to us, but fasting is so that we can give more of ourselves to Jesus. And in the place of fasting, I have found that over especially extended fasts, the reason that I went in, I realized it didn't even necessarily matter as much to me when I came out on the other side.
So it changed you more than it changed God.
God is unchanging, I have found. I am the one that needs changing, and fasting is one of the ways that He has continued to change me and to bring me to the awareness of ways I needed to change that I didn't even have knowledge of until I got into a fast.